I want a baby with like really good hair, really like extra light skin. I want her to be cute and pretty. I don't want her to look nothing like me. I just want her to just be, you know what I'm saying? Like how you be seeing them babies on in the movies and like on TikTok and stuff like that. Like some of my favorite influencers. Like I want, I can dress the baby up and do the hair, and that may sound ridiculous, but this to me, in my opinion, is one of the many reasons why the women who are close to him find him attractive and why they accept so much from him. Not all of them, definitely not all of them, but I've been doing a lot of research and there are quite a few of them who believe this. I did a video not too long ago, and in that video I talked about the fans who were obsessed with him. These are women who were interested in him from afar and maybe fixated on him. In this episode, we're going to be talking about some of the women who were directly connected to him and 6 reasons why they would find this thing attractive despite everything that we know he has done. Not the alleged crimes, the things that we know he have done. Let's get into it. Now, this is for entertainment purposes. If you look it any further, that's on you. We're going to be talking about some stuff that may hurt some people's feelings, but in my community, we already know what it is. I'm T Styles. I have spent over 20 years writing monsters for a living, and in film and in book. And I'm going to give you 6 reasons that I see that despite everything we know about Jarvis Butts, why some women, not all of them, like I said before, are interested in him. And it has everything to do with our community and what we will accept and what we won't accept based on our past. Let's get into it. Number 1, flat out because he's a man. I know people are going to say, what are you talking about? That's how you started? Trust me, it's a man. There are some women, and a lot of us know who they are, who just want somebody right now. Especially now. Stuff is going on. I remember when the pandemic hit, like, girl, you ain't the only one. I'm just saying, let me cook. I remember when the pandemic hit, there were more people who were no longer here from sheer loneliness alone. And some of you may know that. And it may present itself in any number of different ways. It may present itself like the person just got the illness and then that's how they, were no longer here. Or it could, if you look at the core of it, they were alone, nobody was there for them, and then they were not here. So simply the fact that it's a man, and I'm going to say, I'm not a fan. I'm going to be honest, and we're going to talk deeply and seriously. I'm not a fan of this person at all. If you are a fan, believe that he may be innocent of the crime that he's being charged for, that's on you. I'm not here to say if he is or not, to be honest. I'm just saying why so many women are so interested in it. I just want to give you that preface first. But just the fact that he's a man, for some women who are lonely and then don't have anybody, in a lot of cases was enough. Especially if you don't know yourself and you are, you may have had a hard time. You may have been one of the strongest women out here, and then this thing walked up, and then, you like, okay. But remember, we are talking about the women not who just want a man. We're talking about this specific man. We're talking about this person who we know was on paperwork for doing inappropriate things. That's what we're talking about. So that's the first case. Some people, despite him saying, this is my background, this is what it is, if it's a man, some women will say, I'll take it. He has a preference for women who are younger. And I'm not talking about Nazai Harris. This has nothing to do with her or the other little ones. We're talking about grown women right now, or teenagers who were of age. Even though some people think even if you're a teenager, you're not of age. I don't care how old you are. The reason why this is important is the women that were of that age, if they are younger, they don't have any life experience. So he comes. I did a live with some of my T babies, and we had a fun thing, and we did a poll, and quite a lot of them said that he is attractive. So we're not going to play that game. So imagine that you're young, and it comes, and it walks up to you, and it sees you when you don't even see yourself. You can see how that alone would be interesting. I have heard that there's a shortage of men. I think there's a shortage of people who are looking for somebody who cares about them without everything being checked off. Like, I was coming up, we didn't have Tinder, we didn't have I don't even know which ones are out there. I know somebody said, "Girl, shut up, stop lying." I had no idea. Now I will say we had the party lines. We did have MySpace was popping. Black Planet. I don't know if y'all know that. We had that popping and stuff like that. But for the most part, we didn't have all of this. But I'm saying it to say it's literally like a grocery store where you can just pick and then choose and stuff like that. And so you don't have the chance to really meet anybody off with the concept of, I want to get to know you. People don't feel like doing it. They're like, no, I want to know what you're going to give me now. So if you get somebody that's young who may have the account, but then now you pulling yourself on them young, then absolutely you may not know what is real love or the concept of it. It's not going to miss you. So that's the second reason. And again, we haven't started yet. We got to get serious in a minute, right? He likes them ugly. Now, I have spent time talking to my teen babies, and some of the women who have surrounded them, they absolutely have said that he likes women who he is more attractive than. I remember, I think it was my grandmother, definitely an elder, said, never date a man who is prettier than you. Now, me, myself, when I was dating men, I'm a married woman now, and I ain't dating men, but when I'm a married woman, back in the day, I like what they called medium ugly. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want anything that felt like it was prettier than me or more good looking than me. I always knew that. It could have been because, like I said, what my grandmother said. But there are some women that believe a lot of the women who he gravitates towards. And again, we're not talking about the babies. We're talking about women that he gravitates towards are women who he feels that he's more attractive than. I do, and because I like medium ugly, I don't have a preference either which way. I do know that there are some people who are considered just straight up ugly and no classics or what have you, but that's neither here nor there. He likes women who are not as attractive as the classic beauties. And if you feel that matters in your life and you happen to be one of those people who fall into that category, of course you're going to find him attractive. Or of course you're going to be more interested in him despite what he's on. We're talking about a man that's on record. We're not talking about just an average man. We're talking about a man that's on record for having done what he did. And considering that, and now you feel unattractive, and he comes and presents himself in this way, it's a woman to say, yeah, I'll go. The red designer baby coat. There are some women, and I see them now more than ever. I didn't see them that much when I was growing up. I was born in the 70s, but I was pretty much being raised and geared in the late 80s, the 80s and the 90s. There was a thing where you may want a cute baby, but the babies now, if they have certain features, are on par to be millionaires. And I'm seeing it in such a large way where people are interested in having babies by certain people, whether it be outside of the race, whether it be, maybe a lighter skin mixed with a darker skin, or any variation. You can do any of them, to be honest. Two beautiful people from Africa, if they look a certain way, and then they can have this baby because of the money that can be involved in it, because of the access and the followers and the subscribers. This is a new thing. And if he is on record and you believe you being an insecure person, that, hey, if I get up with this thing and I have a baby by him and my baby is attractive, won't that already make me feel increased with myself, who already at this point feels insecure? We're not done yet. Let's continue. The dreaded good hair. Again, we aren't talking about everybody in my community, but the amount of times that I hear good hair, so much so that there are people who are not even in our community on the outside, who think that term is acceptable, is a mess. I have 4C hair, long 4C hair. It come down here. It is very hard to maintain by itself, because any kind of moisture, you can wash it. First of all, it dries quick. It doesn't really always retain moisture unless you do the right things and moisturize it and all of that kind of stuff. For instance, I washed my hair the other day. Took me 7 hours, because I'm not always manipulating my hair, which is probably why it has grown so long. As kinky as my hair is, I don't consider it bad hair. So there is easily, you can manage hair a little bit more, and then there is hair that's able to comb, wash, and go. There are some amazing styles no matter what. Nobody's talking about that toy. What we're talking about right now is how some women will put up with a person like this simply because of his hair. And if you go back to my other point, the red designer baby coat, women who will be with a person just to have a baby look a certain way, and in the hopes that, they could increase how they feel, and that baby will have good hair, and I'm doing air quotes. This is a real thing. Comment in my community. If I'm lying, tell me you're lying. Tell me you have never heard this in our community. Put it in the comments. I want to hear what you got to say. But there are some women who were attracted to him just because of that. Let's continue. The need for light skin. I saved this for last, even though I have been going over it in some kind of way. The reason why I didn't straight up say this first, because these things are individual, but there is an appeal for lighter men. The reason why I left this last is because I believe that in some women's cases, and you see how my face is looking, because y'all is stupid. And we know that it's stupid if you are conscious of it. But if you have spent your entire life, and then people around you feel the same way, believing this kind of thing, that if you have the lighter skin, then you are more attractive, and this, that, and the third, then it absolutely will wreak havoc on you and make you believe that, okay, if how I look and my skin texture is not considered attractive, then clearly this thing who comes up and walks up to you, who has the skin that you feel is more idolized, you'll maybe willing to give him a chance, even if he's on paper. We have to remember, people knew who he was and what he was being charged with, and they did not care. This is why I'm breaking it down. This is why I keep talking about it, because we need to say, we don't care about how you look, my nigga. We don't care about that. What we are concerned about is that we don't want you around us or anybody that we love and care about. That's what we should be talking about. But this is a thing. The lighter skin. Before I even did this video, I kept seeing all these comments, and they just want to deal with him because he light skin, he red, he this, that, and the third. I'm not making it up. And first of all, I don't have to make it up. My head is not under a stump. I don't always like to talk about it or subscribe to it, but I'm also a person who I don't remember the year, I'm gonna put it up right here, wrote an Essence best-selling novel called Black and Ugly, about a girl who did not like her complexion and actually dated a man who looks exactly like him. Like when I was describing him, he looked exactly like him. So I'm not clueless, but I wrote the book early in my career and was able to get on Essence magazine's bestsellers list because I realized that is not true. But in our community, this is a thing that is prevalent. That a lighter man, based on where you are, and notice I said based on where you are, is more attractive than the other, even with women. And we know that it's not true because in some places you go, they don't even want to be having nothing to do with him. They like, he's too bad for me. I can get him out of here. So sometimes it may be regional, but we are again staying on topic. I'm always going to stay on topic. We are trying to find the surfacey things that would make somebody want to be attracted to him. Not all of them. So if y'all be like, no, I just wanted a man. I ain't talking to you about you then. But I'm seeing the stuff that's out there for those who are falling into this. Some of them feel this way, and I'm talking surfacey because if you look at it from a logical standpoint, there will be no reason to even entertain them. None. There would be no reason. I don't care what he looked like. I don't care about none of that. It would be no reason. So you're entertaining him has to be for one of the many reasons that I have listed. And because I'm an overachiever, and y'all know I'm about to do this movie, I'm about to film again and write my screenplays, and I got a couple books coming up, Lemon from Men to Monsters 3, and Lemon from Men to Monsters 3 and Redbone 3. Which is almost on top of that's a whole different story. I said, let me give y'all a little bit more. I said 6, but I'm going to do a 7th. The 7th reason is the love of the bed doctors. I'm calling them the bed doctors. There is something about a man who understands the rhythm of it all. I want to keep this video up. So, you know what I mean? To the point where in one of my books that I wrote, I believe it was the SHYT list, shit list. I believe it was that. I actually, under the guise of entertainment, and I do very twisted books. Like my stuff is not for the weak of heart. I always try to slide something in there that I be want women to learn, because I find that a lot of women don't understand hygiene is a wreck. They think certain things are normal and they're not. But in that book, I talked about cleanliness and all that kind of stuff. And in my book, Silence of the Nine, I went into detail about knowing your own body as a woman. Where are you going, lady? We already know you're a writer. Here's where I'm going. The reasons why bed doctors are so dangerous is because if you don't know your own anatomy, and then you get this thing that comes and pulls up on you, and then is able to help you learn your anatomy, or better than that, knows it better than you, and then you have had an experience that you have never ever thought you was an experience in your life, and then he lets you know, look, I'm on paper, and you lonely, and you feel like the ugly one because people say that you ugly, even though you more than likely are not. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, honey. There's a lot of women's and men's that's married that aren't classically beautiful, but if you got all of this stuff coming already in the picture, and then the bed doctor comes, and I heard it was good in bed, and then it comes, and then it makes you feel like you want to feel, and you already insecure, and then they say I'm on papers. What do you think some women are going to do? They're going to take them and deal with the consequences later.